1, 2, 3, 4. 4-0 hammering by West Ham United. What a great performance from the team. Much needed. It's been a while. West Ham United 4, Nottingham Forest 0. Forest have truly been hammered. The Hammers have hammered them. We've absolutely nailed it. It was a very crucial win. Much needed win. Even a draw wasn't really good enough. And we have delivered as a team. We have delivered not only a clean sheet. Why is Jazz thinking about a clean sheet? It's all the goals happen in the second half. We're all going to go into it. So many things happened. And yeah, looking at the table, I think we're out the bottom 3. We're even above Leeds at the moment. And listen, long way to go yet, but it's a very important step. And I think all you guys today will have a really good Saturday. Hopefully go out, have a few drinks, enjoy match of the day. It's been so long. And even up to half time, everyone, you will agree that it was up in the air. I wasn't feeling that good at half time. I wasn't feeling that good this morning, as you know. I wasn't feeling that good when I saw the lineup and I saw Danny Ings up front by himself. I just thought, he needs someone with him. One thing Danny Ings no one's got a doubt about his ability. He's one of the best out there, but I just thought by himself, he needs someone very close to him. And in the first half, a lot of things weren't right. He kind of looked isolated. We were playing a lot of long balls, mixing it up. Their goalkeeper a bit vulnerable, a bit aging, but we just were not connecting. And when you're on top, I mean, to be fair, first 20 minutes, could have been a couple of goals up. It just wasn't happening. I think Bowen's hit the post, a couple of times. We've hit the post a couple of times in the game. And you just thought one of those days that Forest, they kind of look more streetwise. They're going down looking for the penalties. They kind of know how to wind us up. They've beaten us already when they didn't deserve it. If you remember the game at Forest's ground, we missed a penalty. One or two other things didn't go our way. And I thought, again, after the first half, it kind of looked like, God, if we haven't scored, putting that much, reasonable amount of pressure on them, is it going to be one of those things? But they've delivered. And listen, all the fans have made an effort. It was a sold-out game again. So listen, very chilly day out there, so I'm sure the second half certainly warmed you guys up. And David Moyes is going nuts, funny, but it's been a while, mate. But let's see what's happening in the chat. You know what, you lads, happy Saturday, mate. It's been ages, isn't it? And listen, I haven't even had one drop of rum yet, mate, and we've won. I'm on my juice at the moment. As soon as this show's over, I will celebrate. And it's good. It's like a lot of pressure has lifted above the club. It's only one game. Yep, I know we can't get carried away, but let's enjoy this win, mate. And it's a very convincing win. And what that's telling me, everyone, is that, yeah, we do have, if we can get most of the team fit, we do have a very good squad. I mean, Skamaka didn't even get a chance, to do much and not even come on. Antonio, who we keep saying Antonio's good for two things. He's a very good substitute, and if he can be played on the wing, very useful player. I always said that. I do not want him like playing up front on his own, and certainly starting a game like that. So Antonio as a substitute, Antonio as one of the two up front, or certainly on the wing like Bowen, very good. Yeah, it's kind of looking good suddenly. If we can get one or two more players fit, I think Zuma's getting close, I've heard, isn't it? Obviously, we've lost Fabianski to a nasty eye injury, so let's see what happens with that. Again, it was very tricky for Areola to come on after 60-odd minutes. Very hard for a goalkeeper that hasn't had chance to warm up or anything. Very difficult doing that, but he kind of stood his ground and didn't concede or anything like that. So let's go through the chat. That's what it's all about. Frankie's obviously at the West Ham game, so he won't be joining me today. I might get one or two of the others. It goes epic. I think I'll worry about that perhaps for another show, mate. But I certainly don't want to put any amount of downer on today. I'm really happy. And you're right, small steps at a time. But I will still, again, hold my head. I want someone with Danny Ings. Okay, it worked out today. That's fine. I don't want, because Ings is kind of 30, 29, 30, right? And it is hard work by yourself up front, doing all the work you do, which a lot of it is outside the box. And you could see by the two finishes, that is a Tony Cottee style striker, if any of you remember him. You know, I mean, I think it was was it the first goal, Bowen? Let me go back to my notes again, because one of the finishes was absolutely brilliant. Bloody hell, I always lose it. Anyway, one of the goals was the Bowen first goal. That's it. The Bowen pass to Danny Ings. It looked like it went behind Danny Ings, but Danny somehow, being a goal poucher in the area, comes alive. And these strikers, what they do by hook or crook, and you saw it in both the goals, they'll get any of their body part onto it. They'll somehow just get a shot on target when it looks like the first goal. I said a lot of the strikers, it would have gone behind them, but Danny somehow kind of got his foot back out again and wrapped his foot around it and scored. That's what you pay for. Right, I'm not saying Antonio wouldn't have scored that. I don't really want to go into a lot of negative things today, to be fair. You kind of know what I feel about everyone, but that's what you pay for. But I still stick to my guns. I think we've got to explore playing two up front, 4-4-2 or something like that. But it worked out today, and to be fair, we thoroughly deserved that. But I just thought 0-0 at half time. It's going to be one of those days where we might not get what it looks like we deserve, because we're just not guile enough in front of goal, and we're just making the wrong decisions last minute, and things just wasn't happening, and it was nearly an own goal by the defender, hit the post, didn't it? So that kind of thing. But yeah, epic. Let's see what happens, mate. Let's just, like I said, go game by game and see where we end up, mate. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one win. It is only one win. It's been a while, and things can quickly change, but things can again go back to normal again if we don't carry on. But the potential is always there. The squad is easily good enough to stay up. I mean, it's a pretty reasonable ask. You know, we're not asking to be in the top 10, top 6. We just want to stay up, which is pretty pathetic looking at before the season started. But you can see that. I just want David to just give him a bit more license, like maybe today, to flourish attacking a bit more. You know, let the boys express themselves a bit more. Give them a bit more of a license to go and attack. And I do want to play two up front if we can. You know, I think it worked out today, but perhaps against a slightly better team, it might be difficult for Danny to keep doing that, I think, week in, week out. Yeah, entertainment, mate. That's what it's all about, Cosmos. This is the West Ham way, mate. 3-4 goals. Sometimes you don't know which end they're going to go in, but at least it's a value for money for the fans. This is what football's about. And up to half-time, mate, it wasn't much, was it? I mean, I know we got unlucky, but yeah, you want to see goals, you want to see action. Richie, how you doing, my man? We'll take it, mate. We'll take it. I'm happy today. I'll take it. And Danny, again, Richie, again, everyone watching. Before I go into it, listen, thanks for watching. Again, keep subscribing. We're heading towards the 2K mark soon. Anyway, 2,000 subs soon. But listen, again, this is what happens when you buy someone in the January window, right? We saw that with Lingard. Moyes knows it, right? And imagine if we didn't buy Danny Ings. And it's only one game I'm talking about, but you got to keep buying. You got to keep adding. You got to keep doing that. And this, again, shows you that, yeah, you got to keep doing that. It helps all the time. I know, mate. I know. Listen, again, yeah, we got to play two up front. There are a lot of things wrong. Kufal, not very good first half, mate. He got taken off. Creswell, mate, he was all over the place for a lot of the things, wasn't he? Creswell, if you want to look at some things that weren't right, Cressy, oh my God. He wasn't even in the picture a couple of times when Forrest went down the flanks, didn't they? Cressy was missing, mate. But listen, we as we do it on the show, we kind of know what's wrong with our team. You can easily see it. We need new investment in fullbacks. We need to review the goalkeeper situation. Obviously, Oggie's playing, but long term, if you're an ambitious club, we don't want Oggie anywhere near the team. God bless him, with respect. Great lad, good service. Still kind of helping us with all the injuries that's happening and that. Paqueta's still a concern for me, even though I know he had a hand in one of the goals. I do want to see more of him. More often than not, not much comes to the end of anything he's trying to pull off. And I know we meant to give players time, but we'll see how it goes. It's just 53 million. I want to see a bit more from him, really, a bit more. Love you too, mate. Love you too. Hope you listen. It's all about people smiling, people happy. That's what it's about, isn't it? Gingy said, Gingy, shut your curtains, Gingy. Can't see you, Gingy. You happy?
On the result, I don't think we played as well as we could. Listen, people are going to probably straight me and say, "What more do you want? You scored 4 goals."
Have you got your audio sorted? You're not that clear. Audio. I can see you.
Clear?
No, how are you using it? You speaking to the phone? You got audio plugged in? What have you got?
That's what I always do. Just talking to the phone, Judge.
No, it's a bit like you're underwater a little bit, like you're a little bit underwater.
Right. I'll try and get some headphones.
No, that's better. Yeah, try to get headphones if you got some. Yeah.
Yeah. All
right. We'll get you sorted one day, mate. You gonna plug it in now? You got some. All right, sorted. He'll be back. Gingy will be back. Yep, much needed. Like you said, Cosmos, a draw was never going to be enough, mate. A draw was never going to be enough for us, really. We definitely needed all those 3 points and all those goals. Will do us a lot of good, mate. Steve, mate, I'm doing a show, mate. I can't pick up your phone, mate. Stop ringing me, mate. Jesus Christ. I know you've had a few beers, mate. Sorry about that. That's one of my mates. I was waiting for Lingard to score at the end. I tell you what, Cosmos, I've been noticing Forrest, and he's not even in the squad these days. Lingard's not even in the squad. And I knew that for today's game, they'll patch him up and put him in on the bench. And obviously Shelvey, many of you might not know that. I think he's a half-decent good player, good range of passing, great shot on him. Really useful in the middle of the pitch. He's actually a West Ham fan, West Ham lad, locally from East London. Obviously, originally made his name when went to Liverpool as a youngster. So he played all the players, and they were quite streetwise. Forest, they were diving, wasting time, trying to break up play, and they kind of know what they're doing. And listen, if they stay up, which at the moment they probably could, that's a great season for them after buying 39 players. You know what I mean? Did any of you recognise and remember who the Forest goalkeeper today? He used to play for Real Madrid, so he's definitely getting on a bit, getting on a bit. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. Areola's had it really tough, hasn't he? Certainly this season. It's not easy to keep coming into games now and again and all that. It's hard. Again, being cruel, mate. He got the 4th goal, but then it's the first goal we want from Antonio. When it's tight, it's 0-0. All we need to draw. 4th goal, we want him to score the goal. But then again, going back to what I said, he's a very good option on the bench, which I think he can perform very well, because 90 minutes he just sometimes wanders off, looks tired and disinterested and that kind of thing. So for him, I think a substitute is a good option for him, and certainly on the wing he can help out, or one of 2 strikers up front for me. I'll tell you what though, mate, first half it was still kind of up in the air, wasn't it? But you're right, yeah, Forest didn't really. They had Wood up front who has scored a couple of goals against us in the past, but yeah, they didn't really have much to show for a team who've spent so much money. But you never know which way the game could have gone, mate. After half time, they could have nicked one, and we could have, obviously the crowd by that stage would have been on the team's back, rightly so. And you never know. We'll take it, mate. We'll take it. Good lad. I don't mind, mate, but I just want to carry on playing attacking football on the front foot, especially at home. But I do want 2 up front. I'm going to stick my neck out for this. With Danny Ings, I want someone right next to him like Scamacca or Antonio or I want someone with Danny, and then you're going to get even more out of Danny Ings, even more out of him, mate. All right, got 4 goals today, him playing kind of by himself up front with kind of Bowen and Van Rama next to him, but I still think I want my strikers in the box at all times. I don't. I still think it's good to work hard for the team defending, but the only reason we're doing that is because at the back we're not quite confident in ourselves because of the quality of the players at the back. That's why the attackers they concentrate on defensive duties a lot. I'd rather let the CDMs and the back 4 or 5 think about that. When it comes to wingers and strikers, I want them in the box more often than not. That's kind of the way I want to play, really. And the teams that do stay up is due to goals. And we do have a lot of options now. We've got Skamaka and Tony on the bench. Bowen can hopefully, bang a few goals. And you got Danny Ings now. Now, anyone in that bottom 5, I think at least 2 clubs went for Danny, didn't they? Including Everton and, 1 or 2 other teams. So goals win your matches and goals can save your season. You imagine Danny Ings against that team in Cyprus. I hope it doesn't come back to bite me in the backside. But Danny's going to have a field day, mate. Not sure if David Moyes is going to play him or not. But Ingsy's all right, mate. Keep him fit. Yeah, you're right, Hammer Time. You're right. Again, we can see. It's just let's get this season out of the way. Let's survive. And let's really think about the future of the club in the summer. There's a lot of issues, but I don't want to dwell on too much in today's show, but let's just somehow, by hook or crook, let's stay up and let's look back and think huge underachieving season by us. Depending, when you look at how many players have come in and the cost and things like that, and we've gone sideways and backwards. So there is concerns there, but let's just get this season and listen. With a bit of luck, I think that conference is up there to be won if you play in the right manner. I think we've got Man United coming up in the cup. Let's see how that goes. But let's just finish this season in the league. It's just going to be 15th or 14th at best. Apart from that, I don't really see us doing too much. But and really the board, the owners, they really need to think hard about where do we want this club to go. Apart from that, I don't really want to go into the board or the management or Moyes, because I ain't got a clue, mate, day to day what they're thinking, what their plans are. But it is what it is, mate. Definitely, mate. And just to remind people, AEK Larnaca is a team we've obviously, as you know, we've kind of drawn. And interesting enough, they've got the smallest ground out of the teams that remained in the Conference League draw. It's about 8,000 capacity. But I think only 400 tickets are going to go to West Ham fans, so there's going to be a lot of fans disappointed. So obviously it's near Ayia Napa, a bit of a clubbing area down there, so it's a nice part of the world, good weather. Yeah, it's been a long time, mate. Been a long time. I'm going to have a few rums in a minute, mate. God bless you all, mate. God bless you all for sticking with miserable Jazz all season. Yeah, you're right, mate. You're right. Exactly right. I mean, again, like I said, let's enjoy the win. It's 4-0. It doesn't happen that often, certainly this season for West Ham. Just saw a lot of good things, but equally I saw a lot of good things still not right with our club, especially in the first half. The deliveries were pretty poor in the first half. The set pieces, the corners, the short corners. I mean, Declan took this short corner, which ended up with the ball nearly back to the halfway line from having a corner. Let me know in the comments. I don't like short corners, There's no point in that. Benrahma was quieter in large patches of the first half, but I believe he ended up with at least 1 or 2 assists. So again, keep it coming, mate. Keep it coming. For my first half notes, everyone, is that the first minute Danny Ings had his chance as early as 1 minute 10 seconds, which kind of went begging. And then after 10 minutes was that bit where it's that shot, wasn't it, that hit the Forest defender and hit the post, isn't it? So then I thought, is it going to be one of those days or not? Apart from that, just Danny Ings header on 22 minutes. Also seeing Souček really coming up front. If anything, in some parts of the first half, it looked like Souček's up front with Danny Ings. So you can certainly see that he's telling Declan Rice to sit back a lot now. And then Paquette a little bit ahead of him, and then Souček much further ahead. So you're kind of seeing a few things that David Moyes is trying to do. What I'm really worried about sometimes, especially in the first half, was how do we look without the ball? And I think marking wise, there's still a lot of improvement to be done. I think so. If there's a better team than Forest pinging the ball around, I think we do often fail to mark and kind of keep people quite tight. I think sometimes. 54 minutes second half, Bowen hit the post. I've got that sort of noted down. Apart from that, I've got that. Obviously, their goalkeeper's quite aged, quite old. He's vulnerable. Let's just keep trying to do headers and shots against him. 59 minutes, Uncle Cressy. He was nowhere to be seen with. I think their player Johnson went down the wing, and Cressy should have been marking him. He was on the other side. So obviously, Grice had to come back and help out. And then there was a handball, 62 minutes, if you guys remember, Ben Johnson. But obviously the ball was far too close and his hands were in a natural position, so there was no worry about that. 68 minutes, Fabianski went off, Areola sort of coming on for that. And then 70th minute is that goal. Good work by Bowen. Good cross, and then Danny Ings, where it looked like for some strikers it would have gone too much behind him, he somehow adjusted his body and foot to get that goal into the net, really. And I think there's a few nervous minutes thinking about offside, but to me straight away I thought it isn't offside, but when they actually drew the lines it was very close, and then luckily that was okay, really. And then kind of straight away after 2 minutes, 72 minutes, it was like 2 goals in 2 minutes, and we were 2-0 up, really, with Danny Ings. Paqueta doing good work with Ben Rama. 78th minutes was that Rice, that really, really long goal. Great curling shot from Rice, and I know he's been looking to score a goal for a long time, and that was 3-0. Antonio, good work by Fornells. Kind of dinking it towards Antonio at the back post, and he guided it into the net to make it 4-0. And then obviously he didn't really celebrate too much, and that you probably remember he used to play for Forest before he came to West Ham, so he kind of wanted to respect that a little bit. And how you doing, mate? You back in? How you doing?
Yeah, can you hear me better now, yeah?
It's the same, but don't worry, carry on. It's fine. Carry on. What did you think, mate? What did you think?
You know what, right? I'm gonna sound a bit negative here, but I don't mean to be negative, because I'm watching the performance, and the performance wasn't great as a team. I think we got lucky with the fact that Nottingham Forest capitulated a bit, conceding that first goal. The Reds were still down. We caught them within another minute or two. Got the second goal, and then I think it was just, look, don't get me wrong, we were all over them, but I never thought that we would end up scoring before we did. And I just thought there was some of the play today was just shocking. Some of the effort levels, I was watching certain players and I was like, shocking. I happened to go back. And then the second half, and Rice was just, we got the ball, Rice was just going back, and I was thinking, where the fuck are you going from here? What are you doing? And fair play to Declan Rice, right? Because I'm going to give you it now. He was my man in the match today. He held on to that ball when he could have easily kicked it out for a throw-in and put ourselves under a lot of pressure. There was a lot of players being out of position, but he kept hold of the ball, kept holding onto the ball. He found himself a bit of space to play it, and what great decision making that was, because he doesn't just want to kick it out of play when players are out of position and give possession away, and he manages to keep hold of it, turns around. He's been closed down by at least 2 players. Let's not forget that. So he's under pressure, and he does well to keep the tension of the ball and then play the ball, and he ends up getting a goal from it, which I think one of the commentators that I was watching streaming tonight was quite right, because if he had kicked that ball away and he doesn't start that move, then we wouldn't have seen the best play of the game.
No problem, mate. Yeah, Steve's mash, mate. Steve's out of it. He's been at it since 10 in the morning, I think. So he's going to be all over. Yeah, Stevie. He kept bloody ringing me. Oh, Steve, I'm doing the show live. What are you calling me for? He's gone mad. He was singing. He's singing all to funk music. He loves funk music. He's laughing. He's like dancing away like midday. He's out of it, mate. He'll be asleep all day today, I think.
Yeah, give it a couple of hours. He'll have his kebab with chili sauce. Moment it's too hot.
Oh, mate. When he's had a pint, he's dangerous, mate. I don't know about today.
Steve, you see that trauma in Jazz's tires, yeah?
I think the other thing is when you look at the league, it's still Everton are third from bottom, but it's only 2 points, mate. It's still long, like you said. It's just one game, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. So we could go and win this one as comfortably in respect to the scoreline, because I don't think performance-wise it was comfortable. All right, we had a lot of possession, it was all over in this play, but we didn't create much clear-cut chances before we got the goal. So we're just saying, this is a good confidence booster. Clean sheet, 4 goals at home, our biggest scoreline this season. Let's see. And listen, we've got what we wanted. We've got Danny starting up top, starting the game up top. I still don't think it's right that he plays on his own up top.
Yeah, I think we need two. We need two, don't we?
He needs a bit more support, a bit more help. But he's got his start, he's got his goals, and then another one straight after. Areola got his first Premier League appearance. And what a play he had to make with that stretch left hand. I know you don't like Fabianski, and I know you won't wish Fabianski ill health or an ill injury, but I think everyone got to see a bit of Areola coming in the Premier League today, and I think that we should just look for him as a viable option going forward.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, Brighton's next, I think. Man United in the cup coming up, so we'll see what happens. And obviously, Fabianski's got a little bit of an eye injury, so he probably won't play in the cup next game. So overall, like you said, first half he was hanging in the balance, and we've got over the line. We've done well. Second half, I want to play two up front, mate. I want to play Skamaka up front, and then maybe Paqueta or Benrahma will have to exit in order for that to happen. One of them. Souček is certainly playing more advanced.
I think everyone now in the midfield areas, I think everyone knows and understands their role a bit more. I mean, it's far too late in the season for everyone to start getting to grips where they should be playing and what their roles actually are. But I think Rice dropping the deeper one out of the two, Souček got the licence to go forward and to push and support. I think certain players have come back into a little bit more form. Whether that's down to the manager or whether that's down to individuals, I don't know. But
Your sound is still bad, Ginge. It's really bad now. Yeah, it's just too much disturbance. There's too much. Yeah, there's too much disturbance, mate. Seriously. Nah, it's too much. Nah, it's like an echo back, and yeah. Try to sort it out, then come back in if you can. Yeah.
Right, no worries.
All right. Let me go through while Jin sorts it out. Hammers Mikey, there we go. Still want Moyes gone. Yeah, I think the long-term plan, mate, has got to be that we got to look for a different type of manager, younger manager, more naturally attacking manager. I don't want to get personal with Moyes, but I think that's about it with him. I think hopefully Hooker Crook will stay up. But would I want to give him another 100 million in the summer? Would I want to cry at every transfer window and where he makes it really hard to bring players in? And it, not for me, but I'm not gonna, we've won today and we should we should bloody stay up. I don't think we should celebrate staying up when you look at the whole season, put it that way. It's not nothing to be really happy and joy. I mean, when you look at it, we're staying up. Well, God, we should do far more than that. But the position we're in is to do with the manager. We won one game 4-0. That's good. And let's just stay up and then really, really look for a new manager, fresh ideas, younger manager, naturally more talented, can certainly guide this team, which is a reasonably good squad, and add more players, and certainly have more knowledge of the international market. I don't think David Moyes' knowledge of young players internationally is that good. He certainly does follow the British market very, very well, or reasonably well. But we want someone who knows a bit more than that, really, and can bring the fresh ideas of, because you can tell we are very slow at moving the ball around. We definitely need to move the ball around quicker. We need more pace in that team than it currently is. We need more leaders in that team, so still a lot of things to be improved on. And I wouldn't feel comfortable with, because the thing with David Moyes, even if we stay up, next season we're only going to be a couple of defeats away, and people like me and chat that we're all going to get disgruntled really quickly, and he's always going to be up against it. So I think either way, this is probably his last season. You know, whether he'll go carry on all the way till the end of the season, if we continue to be out the bottom three, I don't know. But certainly, yeah, we've got to think long term, mate. So yeah, I agree with a lot of you guys, mate. I agree, mate. Like I was saying to Ginger Carroll, mate, we need to play two up front and sacrifice Paqueta or Benrahma. I think top of my head. That's kind of thing I'm thinking of, really. Fullbacks is a big issue for me, mate. Huge area for me is fullbacks, and you can see that now. And Rice looks like he's going to go, and if we can get good amount of money for him, I want a lot of that going on. I want 20-30 million for each fullback, left back and right. I want 16 million of the Rice money going on the wing back area, left back, right back, who can play as a wing back comfortably. He's got that stamina engine, very good at set pieces, crosses. That's where our width's going to come from, allowing perhaps someone like Bowen to concentrate through the middle if that's what he wants to do. But you can tell, you know, that's the kind of thing we need to improve on big time. It's just Sean, I mean, it is what it is, mate. As soon as he's fit, he is Moyes' man to go to, isn't he, mate? And yeah, it is what's going to happen, mate. You've got to think the long-term future, but we don't, you know. So, yeah, I know, mate. It's Ginger, mate. What can I do with him? What can I do with him, mate? Yeah, I got to buy him a headset or something, you know. What can I do? You're absolutely right, mate. I think attacking is one thing, but the other thing is I am traditionalist. I want two up front. Or if the front three have got enough pace, like the Liverpool guys who do play 4-2-3-1, to be fair, more often than not. But they're still always there, aren't they? You know. So no matter what you play, I want people in the box. I don't want them defending. I don't want my striker on the halfway line chasing their full back. I don't want none of that. You know. And that is all because we're compensating for a weak back four, back five, or maybe one of the CDMs not doing their job, really. So Forest will celebrate, we'll be happy about it, but yeah, let's keep our feet on the ground. Much more harder games to come, but it's a good start. And to be fair, I think it's just one defeat, the Spurs defeat in the last 5 or 6. So maybe we are turning the corner slightly, and just got to keep up picking points, but you've got to be wary. We've got to, obviously, still in the cup conference, so games are coming thick and fast, and we just got to make sure mentally in our head that we kind of, yeah, league is priority, but yeah, God, we've got to win something as well. I get that. So hopefully David Moyes has got a plan how to utilise the squad, and that means the youth as well. You've got to involve the youth. I would like to see at least one face against United on the bench. Certainly, definitely like to see one person on the bench in the Cyprus game, you know. You got to bring them in slowly. Oh, mate, Steve still at it. How you doing, Father Hammer? How you doing? Great name. But yeah, like you said, I'm not gonna, again, not mentioning any channel names. You know what my feelings are. I'm not gonna suddenly go left or right. You exactly know, following the channel, what I think and how I back my ideas and feelings up, right? And I know some channels today will be giving it the big one, and not me. I'm celebrating today. It's for the fans. Good performance, 4 goals, been long time coming. But yeah, I don't agree with kind of the one up front, like I said, and Areola should be starting more often than not. But we've done it. We've got over the line, and we've won comfortably, and I hope that encourages the management to play more attacking football. I just think we're too. I think we don't want to waste Danny Ings playing him by himself up front. I think Danny's too good to be playing by himself on his own and that kind of thing, really. So I want Danny to be used as one of two, and I think Skamaka to be sitting on the bench. I think it's kind of not that good, really. So we'll see how it goes, mate. Epic. Forest has only 1 win this season. We were never going to lose this game. Yeah, I think we will be in the relegation scrap, to be fair. I think we will stay there. I mean, we're only a couple of points ahead of the team in the bottom three anyway, mate. So I think we're always going to be in the bottom five, bottom six. But you want to try again, mate?
Yeah. I mean, is that a bit better for you?
Yeah. Much better, mate. Much better. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what it was? I've got my headphones in last time, and I forgot to do the settings on the app that we use, on the streaming site that we use.
No, it's fine now, mate. Yeah, carry on. Yeah, you're fine
Too
now.
busy rushing, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Too excited.
Yeah,
I'm like a little school kid.
you know, but a lot of the fans are rightly saying that. Yeah, we're still in a relegation scrap.
100%.
We can't get too excited, so keep our feet firmly on the ground. And it is like, even if we, I mean, God, you look at the squad, you look at the bench, we should be nowhere near the bottom three. And if we don't get relegated, we've got to be careful that we don't celebrate such a season like that. You know, we've got to go back to the drawing board. And I'll stick by it. We do need a new manager in the summer. But yeah, some channels will go from left to right. One thing we don't do in our channel, we stick to our beliefs. And we've been like that since October. So we're constant with our thoughts. And we don't go, headline locking or stay. There's some channels that just stay in the middle. When you watch their videos, they don't say anything at the end. When you've listened to them, you're thinking, you actually have not even said anything. Are you left? Are you right? It's just wishy-washy. But with us, certainly myself, and Ginge ain't scared to speak his mind. We want to change at the management. We do. Even today, like you said, Ginge, you should play two up front, shouldn't we?
100%. And I just see a comment there from David Trevitt. Players won that, not Moyes. And do you know what? I think he's right. Yeah, Moyes has had to pick the team and the system, and he went back to a flat back four as well, but which could have been risky, especially with the likes of Ogbonna there and Ben Johnson playing left back. When obviously we all know he's naturally a right centre half, right back. Sorry, I will get there in the end. And I think leaving Antonio out, obviously the right answer. People saying Quetta's back in, is it far too early considering the injury? And then he went down twice with the same shoulder. And then Ings being in the starting 11, you think, are you trying to kick it? Because these players are known for their injuries. And the question lately is, are we bringing these players back too soon? Story of West Ham's life, really, because we get an injury-prone player, we bring them back too soon, and within the first game back, they're normally injured again and out for several months. So that was always a worry. But I think Moyes was brave and actually listened to the fans, if there is such a thing. But he played Ings, what we all wanted. He scored us 2 goals. Antonio coming off the bench, he seems to play better. When we started Scamacca, and then Antonio, so Scamacca would score, he would get subbed off about the 60th, 65th, 70th minute. Antonio would come on and think, fuck, I've got to score now to make it like I'm competing. And Antonio would come on and score. So I think that's Antonio's position now, preference now. Coming on as an impact player, get players to wear him down in the first hour of the game. Antonio come on and just be a nuisance. But I was a bit disappointed after his goal. I didn't see him close down. He looked like it was his lazy walking around himself. And I'm thinking, you've only just come on. It's not like you've been running around for 60 minutes. So what the fuck are you walking around for? I know we're 4-0 up. That's not the attitude to have. You're down the bottom for a reason. Make the fucking statement. I wasn't too happy with certain things in that game. But I'm very happy with a clean sheet and scoring 4 at home and getting them 3 points. But Moyes still has to go.
I think. What did you think of the first half?
Very flat, and I was sitting there watching it from here, but on sunny Isle of Wight, and I thought, imagine if I turned up there today, I'd be bored. It sounded horrendous. Like there was, I mean, I could hear the microphones picking up people having a conversation. I mean, I'm not going to say what it was about, but I could hear them talking. You couldn't hear the fans getting at the players, screaming. Basically what fans normally do, whether it's negative or positive, inputs. They're always screaming something or singing. They're the things I never heard today during the first half, and I just thought this is boring, this is flat. And I was going to say that I feel sorry for Frankie and Ryan on the channel. You think them boys have gone up there today, and that must have been a proper snooze fest.
I thought it was all right. I thought we fans were doing quite well. I heard, yeah. I thought it's all right.
I mean, you must have that auto play button on the side of your screen where it's got the automated fan noise. Do you remember?
Spurs.
Early COVID? Remember when you used to watch the COVID and they used to put the fan noise in the background?
I think Spurs did it a bit, but yeah, obviously when the lineup came out, I wanted two strikers. It wasn't the way, and Ben Rama's, yeah, he's come away with 2 assists, but in the first half, I didn't see much from him. Paqueta, again, I want to see a bit more from him every game. I want him, bit more from him. You could see that Souček was up front more or less with Danny Ings, if anyone was at some time. So he's playing much more advanced now. And mate, looks like Kufal, obviously, yeah, his game was up and down in the first half, and Moyes just pulled him off. And Krezi went missing in the second half, mate. A couple of times when Forrest came bombing up down the wing, Krezi was nowhere to be seen. So we do have a lot of issues in our team still, mate, and it is at the fullback area. But that was a weird one.
That Sufal one was a weird one. I don't remember seeing any sort of challenge or any sort of anything from Sufal to indicate that he took a knock or he got injured. But I did notice Ben Johnson being a bit suspect at left back. So obviously addressing the left back situation, bringing Cresswell, another suspect. You think surely you'd shore it up with Emerson, but with the positions that we were getting in and being majority holders of the ball in possession and going towards their final third, Cresswell's delivery is on point. So I can sort of understand that, but defensive wise, no. And then why would you take off? You'd just do a straight swap for Ben Johnson for Cresswell. You wouldn't start fucking around and taking the right back's Nan off and replacing it with your best mate's uncle. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't fit.
Yeah, Rice. Yeah, looks like a couple of the players Cosmo had a sharp haircut. I think Rice was one of them. I think Souček looked to have a bit of a trim as well. Rumour is Kufal is injured. Thanks for that update, David. So, but I hope all is well with you, Dave. Hope all is well, mate, and thanks for joining in. But yeah, Kufal, he looks okay, but you never know. You never know. But you're right, Trini. Hope you're doing all right, mate. I found out you're from Trinidad, mate. Huh?
That's another thing, right? So there was an incident where it really bugged the shit out of me, especially where I just remembered he's European, and they're normally fucking hard as nails. Them Europeans, they don't give up. They're strong as an ox, and they fight. And I see him get bullied off the ball a couple of times, and I just thought you didn't look like you wanted it at any point. And there was a few players at a few different instances like that today. Kufal was one of them. And there was a couple of others that didn't really look like they wanted to put themselves about, and that really pissed me off. That was in the first half as well. But yeah, Kufal, there was no indication that he took a knock or thingy. So hopefully it's only a precaution. It's only a little one, and he's back with us because he's the past 5 weeks. He's sort of coming back to the old Kufal. He hasn't really done much wrong. And he's been up there and supportive. So it's just a shame that he needs to work on his crossing. But other than that, it'd be a shame.
Yeah, David, you're right. It's going to be key for David Moyes to balance all the fixtures in the cups, mate. Absolutely right. Trini, yeah. So you're from Trinidad and Tobago. I think Brian Lara and Dwight York. I've never been here. I've been to St. Lucia and Barbados. I haven't been to Trinidad and Tobago, but I'm not surprised you missed the sun. And Ginger certainly looked very, very crisp, very chilly, very cold in East London. And today you could see that the temperatures they're not that high today, about 6-7 degrees, I think. So bit of a chill factor there at the London Stadium. Yeah. Yeah,
temperatures have dropped around these ways in comparison to the last week or so, where we had a little increase, but not much. I think it got to about 10, 11 last week, but then it's just dropped again.
Usual suspect. I hope you're well. See, my issue my issue, mate, is that it's the same formation, though. It's the same formation. He hasn't changed anything. He might have told them, like, yeah, start crossing it. And I did see him playing long ball. I don't mind if he mix it up a bit. The first half,
Well,
because
you have to mix it up.
yeah. I mean, they must have worked out the goalkeeper is the old Real Madrid goalkeeper who's probably like 50 years old now, isn't he? And get at him. But we still didn't. We didn't put the goalkeeper that much under pressure. There were some good deliveries going in there, but like if you had Skamaka in there, like as an example, Danny Ings would have loved it feeding off him, knock it back. You know that's how you're going to get the best out of Danny Ings. But are you happy with this 4-2-3-1? Are you happy with the 4-2-3-1 formation that he keeps playing? You happy with it?
Well, see, I think he has changed the formation a bit because he's been playing five at the back. If you look at it from a defensive point of view, it's five at the back. And if you look at it from an attacking point of view, even though he hasn't really been attacking, especially in the Spurs game, he wasn't attacking. Then it becomes a three at the back with a five in the middle, and potentially room for more to move in the higher attacking lines. But today he's gone for a flat back four, which then allows one extra position for someone else to move forward.
Who's the fifth defender at the back, you reckon, today? Because I know when Emerson plays, he's a wing back. Kafal's a wing back. Then you got the three.
So normally, right, in the last couple of games when we've had five at the back.
No. But today wasn't five at the back.
That's what I'm saying. So he's changed it. So he's changed it from the last couple of games where he's had five at the back, and he's now changed it to a flat back four, which then allows one extra player to be moved further up the pitch. So you've got your two older midfielders. He never changed those. No matter what, you could have had 10 at the back, and you'd still have the two holders. But, even though that makes 12, but that's the sort of thing Moyes would do. But you see what I'm trying to say? Like, his defensive midfielders never changed no matter what formation he chose. But in the latter games, he chose five at the back, and then this game he has changed the formation because he played a flat back four, and he gave us an extra attacker, if you like. He gave us the three behind the striker, and the two centre defensives with the four at the back, and I think we play better like that, providing we've got the right personnel to play it. And I don't think we had the right personnel exactly today, because on another day, I think we can come unstuck. Obviously, ideally, you don't want Ben Johnson playing left back, and you certainly don't want Ben Johnson covering right back while Cresswell comes on at left back. Although Bono had a great game today with the help of Aguerd next to him, obviously we'd like to address that and make sure we've got a younger, fitter, athletic defender in there to help Aguerd, and then Ogbonna can be our backup, experienced backup. That's why I don't really get why we sold Dawson. I know why we sold him, because out of respect for Dawson, he wanted to be with his family, blah blah. But we should have got someone in. We should have replaced him well before. But anyway, that ship sailed. So
I heard the board wasn't prepared to give him the money for another centre half. They weren't going to back him any more than that. What they've done, and I think Danny Ings is a Sullivan signing. He's a Sullivan signing. Doesn't matter who's in charge of the manager. I think good for Sullivan. Good to overwrite him, because Moyes weren't going to sign him. He weren't going to sign no one, mate. And Sullivan's like, It's my club, my money. I'm going to do it, mate, whether you like it or not. He's definitely not David Moyes signing. I don't think so, mate. He's forced into it.
To be fair, if he isn't David Moyes signing, then David Moyes speaks quite highly of Danny Ings, and he must rate him to an extent where, because in the past he's been reluctant to play players that looks like that isn't his signing. I know you could say he's been reluctant to play Danny Ings as well, but since we got him, his first game, he played him of some sort, and then unfortunately he got injured. I think he regurgitated an old knee injury, so that kept him out for a few games. And then he's tried bringing him back, and he got injured again, very brief. And then he brought him back today, and he's actually started him. And look what happens: you play to proper strikers in the box, a fox in the box. You play football into the box, and they will score you goals because they know how to. They know where to run, when to run, the little positions to pick up, running across defenders. tapping them on the shoulder behind them, running around the other side just to fool them. Out and out forwards will do that to you. And as long as we play good football, get it down the line, and don't play this tippy tapper football on the edge of the box and go to the bar line, back out to the D, round to the other side of the box, and not get the ball in the box is just stupid. When you've got an out and out centre forward in there, get the ball in the box, and he will score your goals. He's only little as well, but he can fucking jump.
Rene, what I was going to say was, you're right what you're saying about the dressing room. It's really confusing for me as well, because if we hadn't won that Everton game, he would have gone, and today he would have gone as well. So I'm just summarising. I think they are such a nice bunch of lads, this team, and I don't like that, especially on the pitch. We are too nice. We don't dive. We don't do those tricks other people do. You saw Forrest trying to win 2 penalties, waste time. I think there's an occasion where that Johnson guy, Ginge, Ben Johnson went to pick it up and the guy kicked it the other way and kicked it the other way. We don't do none of that, mate. And I think these lads... Yeah. And Rice is too nice to be a captain as well. He's too nice. He's too nice, mate. And we need some Arnie... We need some Arnie people in there, Razor Ruddock, Julian Dix people in there. We need a bit more of those, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I've said this for ages. And I've said this about England, and this is why the similarities with England and West Ham. Like, we are too nice. We don't try all the shithousery that every other team does against us. And it really pisses me off, because although I don't like that side of football, but you've got to play the game. If you can't beat them, then join them. You know what I mean?
What do you think about Souček? I think he's been okay last 3-4 games. Souček's been back to his normal a little bit more. Yeah.
Give him a bit more time. He's slowly coming into himself. Like I said a little while ago, I think Rice, whether they've been told to or whether they've worked it out amongst themselves, Rice sitting a little bit deeper when we've got possession and we're free flowing, then it allows a bit more space for Souček to roll into. A lot of people would say they would want it the other way around because Rice's attributes on the ball and whatnot. But I think Rice sitting deeper, picking up the ball and dictating play, I think that's much better, because Souček doesn't get much to the ball, and he just does the important stuff. Like, he can flick it on, he can be there, he can take a player out of the game just by someone marking him, and then his aerial threat as well. Let's not forget, however much negativity you've got towards Souček, I don't think there's a bad word to say about him at the minute. He's not. Don't get me wrong. He's not setting the world alight, but he's doing what he needs to do, and he's doing what he needs to get by. And I think his performances have picked up, and I think his confidence is picking up. And I think slowly, the whole team will slowly start picking up.
Yeah, I tell you what, the next 2 league fixtures, everyone, that'll really, really strike home where exactly we are with this team. Brighton away, who apparently have got one of the most up and coming, promising managers that Chelsea and Spurs are desperate to get. I don't know much about him, but what I'm hearing is they are already onto this guy. Then we've got Villa at home. Mr. Unai Emery, respect him a lot. They're doing some good things, Villa. So these 2 fixtures,
up and coming manager,
Mr. Potter. See, a lot of West Ham fans want Graham Potter. For me, I don't know what Graham Potter is, mate. I don't know what his style is. I don't know what his setup is, mate. I don't see much of a personality there. I don't see anything that stands out to me. He often, he's there, hands folded, and I don't know, mate. But yeah, there's rumours the board are waiting for Chelsea to sack him. They're in there. There's rumours Poch is, he's got a flat in London. He wants a job in the Premiership. He said, I'm ready to come in. I don't know. But yeah. He's got a flat he's in London, mate, most of the time, between London and Barcelona.
I tell you, he's going back to Tottenham.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was...
It's all gone quiet, but do you remember a few months ago when I said, put a bet on it, Jazz? Tottenham and Pochettino have got paperwork drawn up already. They've got a contract drawn up already. Antonio Conte is gone at the end of the season, and Pochettino is going to be Spurs' new manager. That's been drawn up for ages, but my friends, I won't say exactly who they are, but my friends know someone that works for Spurs, who's a PA within Spurs Football Club, and she's seen the contract there and then, and she's been in meetings when they've spoke about it. So as long as it all goes through plain sailing, but the contract's there, and Potts' contract is on the table as well of demanding what he wants. So put a bet on it, mate. Spurs to have Pochettino at the end of the season. At the
Dave,
start
your
of
comment,
23.
yeah. Dave, your comment's bang on because I want Martin Allen involved in the coaching staff, mate, for a while. I think he's been a manager for a good number of years, especially with Brentford. He's full of passion, which we want on the touchline, and he's definitely motivational in the dressing room, mate. So I think we need more West Ham people. I just think some of the backroom team just don't do nothing for me, Ginge. They wouldn't motivate me, mate.
No,
Kez
I mean,
thinks Oggy was solid.
it was, and I think that helps with Aguerd there. But what I was trying to say is about Oggy is the wrong side of 30 now. We can't keep relying on him, and I think it's better that if we got someone else to come in and he can be the backup to them. I've got nothing bad to say about Oggy, but I think it's unfair to put the strain on him when we can go out there and buy a decent young or younger centre back.
What do we think of Mark? I hope you're doing well, mate. I think it should happen more regularly, Mark. I think it should have happened way before this point because this has kind of been happening for many months and weeks now. But again, I don't see Rice as a leader. He's a very good player. Be interesting that his next club how they use him. There's rumours that they're going to use him. They're not going to, tell him to go advance. He's going to be CDM, simple CDM, stays in the centre circle. Might even use him in the back four as a centre back. I can't see that. But, don't forget, the issue with Souček was that Rice had the licence. That kind of Moyes said, whatever you want, I'll give it to you. And that kind of didn't work out, did it, for a long time. And he didn't get any goals. Yeah.
Souček was a bit all over the place. He was chasing his tail, which then left us exposed when Rice would go forward. Whereas we know what we're going to get when Rice and Souček goes.
I think a lot of people, especially in the chat, they are, and rightly so. If you've been like us, been not happy with David Moyes, then one game shouldn't change anything, and the players shouldn't be too overconfident by today. Just keep focused. But those two games will tell me a lot, mate, because Brighton are a proper team. Villa, I think, are going in the right direction, mate. And let's see what we do out of those two games. Because then you've got Man City after that, everyone. Man City away. Huge game, Southampton at home after that. Newcastle at home after that. So I think those 5 games are going to tell us a lot of where exactly we are, where we're going. Key question, Ginge, do you...
Go on. I'll ask you a question after. Go on.
Can you see David Moyes playing 2 up front this season at any point, do you think?
Could I get blood out of a stone? No, the answer is no. I think he's too stuck in his ways. He's too stubborn. He doesn't like anyone else's input. If someone else has got a better idea and proposes it to him, he's thinking, no, this is my way. I'll do it my way. And because now you've opposed that to him, he's gonna be more reluctant to go against it because he wants to do things his way. I think he's very, very stubborn. I mean, we all know this. He's very stubborn in his ways, old ways. With the players we've got and with the formation that we can adapt to, and at least have a plan B, for a 2 up top could well work for us. As long as, he should have been doing this ages ago. He should have been working on this in training as well as a backup, and then implementing it into a game at some point just to test the waters. So, for the fact that he hasn't tested any sort of waters of 2 up top, there's been little spells where he's had to throw 2 up top, but he's never really tried it properly. So he's got to at some point, because you can't just keep playing the same way. Look at the last 2 years, the last 2 seasons, we've been playing the same way, and then this season we get caught unstuck.
No, so it's fine. But manager must have at a minimum 2-3 lineups up his sleeve. There's managers out there like Conte that change into 2-3 formations, and that's what wing backs will give you. They can play flat back four, they can play as wing backs, but we've just got old school full backs who only know how to play like that, and some of them are so bad they constantly need the wingers to keep tracking back and helping them. That's where you lose the attacking side of things,
Well,
But
we've got no pace either. That's another big factor. Whereas a lot of modern starting 11s now have pace within their wings, whether it be their fullbacks or their attacking wingers. So that sort of helps them out a bit. Whereas we haven't. We've got the old school style left backs and right backs with no pace. So we're shooting ourselves in both feet.
Yeah. Smeagol, you're absolutely right. So apparently the Brighton manager has managed Scamacca in Italy. Yeah, but Tyler, something's... I mean, I don't know a lot about this guy, but what I'm hearing, mate, is that he's that good. Even the radio station was saying he's earmarked to be one of the best in the future. Then Chelsea have already, within their own board, have put his name on their list for the future. Spurs are even looking at him. So something's like, wow, must be something out there. I don't follow Brighton, as you know. I don't know too much about this guy. But it is. Yeah, I mean, that's what we heard, mate. And the good news, bees knees, about that was that finally, before this game, I think the shit whatever's hit the floor, the ceiling fan with the board, and this only now they are now talking to agents of other clubs, and that's why their agents sometimes put news out there. That's the thing, Ginger, I was worried about, that up until this point we've not really been linked with any manager and there was no urgency from the board. But now perhaps they must have started to put the feelers out there before this game, and things like that. You're not sure?
I just don't know what to expect anymore, because was it the Danny Ings signing that was all hush hush in January and no one knew about? So there you go. Whereas normally every man and his dog would know about West Ham's business, whether it be a manager, whether it be a transfer, going ins, going outs, whatever. But we didn't hear the dippy bird about Danny Ings. So what's to say they haven't got this? And to be a bit more respectful to David Moyes, you don't want him. I know he said he doesn't really read the papers and whatnot, but he's got a mobile phone. He's got people around him to say, "Oh, Moyes, have you seen this? I've heard that West Ham are looking to out you and get someone else in." Are they doing it on a hush to see what sort of feelers they can, and it's all done behind closed doors? We don't know, do we? If the news outlets, if they choose not to give it to the news outlets, then we aren't to know. And the only reason why they give these stories to news outlets, because one, news outlets are bugging them for a story, or two, they want to get a message out there.
Haaland has just scored. It's Manchester City 2, Bournemouth 0. So that's
Haaland scored.
Well, you kicked him out your team, did you? Fancy team or something?
No. I'm not kicking him out. I wouldn't kick him out of bed for farting. The geezer's a genius.
Apache putting us right. Yeah. Oggie's 35. Yeah, he's getting on a bit, isn't he? He's getting on a bit. Yeah. Ings and Schemack.
Look, because I said about a geezer being in my bed.
Oh, mate.
I won't kick him out of bed for farting, and the missus is like, hang up.
Don't worry, I'm gonna release Carol soon. We're gonna close the show off, mate. Man of the match for you, mate, and then we'll call it quits.
Declan Rice. I think his ball retention in that first goal was could have easily just kicked it out. I mean, as a kid, you're running back towards your own goal. You've got not one but two players bearing down on you, with nowhere to go. Nowhere to play other than the keeper. In Sunday League football or lower league football, when you're a kid, you're taught, if in doubt, kick it out. And he was twisting and turning, found himself a couple of yards of space, played the ball up the line, and look what happened. Probably the best move of the game that led to a goal. So fair play to him, and he was in and around. He was trying to get on the ball to make something work. Yes, he went back a lot, which slowed down the play, and it was really frustrating to watch But as soon as them first couple of goals went in, you see everyone come alive. Ah!
Right, Gingy Boy's having his technical issues. We'll get him back soon. But actually, we're probably going to close the show off soon anyway. But Smeagol, good points there. I wonder if Brentford use all that stuff as well. You know, Brentford are known, similarly to Brighton, to attract really good players. They make a lot of money in the market. You know, like Brighton, they've had Tony up front, had Mopay before that. So lots of players have come through the Brentford sort of system as well. And Brighton, like you said, every time they need a new manager, they get someone in who's always good, isn't it? It's like a conveyor belt, really. So I wonder how teams use these different things. But I mean, we do have got one or two people in the scouting team now, but has to be established for a long time to get the benefits out of that, really. Bowen, listen again. Bowen will always be in my team, and like I said in one of my videos out of him and Ben Rama, Bowen is my man. He's the one in the trenches. He's so strong. Look how good he is at holding players back and that kind of thing. So very, very good. Lots of hard work he does for the team, to be fair. My man of the match, gonna say Danny Ings. You can't win matches until you put the ball in the back of the net, so simple as that. And that's what you pay for, a real striker. And let's play him as a striker. Give him some assistance. We've got height in there in Skamaka, who can win some of the balls in the air and they can play off each other. It'll work well. We'll lose a player from midfield. There's always a bit of that. But I think if you will agree with me that sometimes, whether that extra player is Paqueta or it's Ben Rama, I'd rather have Skamaka up front. I think once he's fully fit, I think it offer a bit more to the team than kind of one or two of those players over 90 minutes, I think, and you'll get more out of Danny Ings. It might not work out. I think we should definitely try that, because that'll be such a plus point for West Ham to have Skamaka and Danny Ings up front. That's a great partnership that many teams at the bottom can't. They ain't got players like that in their squad. So, and at the back, I mean, having said that, clean sheet today, and we do have one of the best defensive records in the league for teams at the bottom. So for hook or crook, we don't really concede a lot, but certainly we need to keep scoring a lot at the other side, really. So I'm going to go through one or two more comments and then we'll call it a quits. And then I'll do a couple of shows probably tomorrow for you guys. Let me think about what kind of things have gone on today. I'm just feeling a bit sorry for him, Andrew. Like I want to protect him. I don't want him running around outside the box too much. I want him just on the edge, ready to pounce. And then he's kind of 29, 30, isn't he? So I wanted to look after him, that kind of thing. So enjoy today. 4-0, wonderful victory. Psychologically gets us out of the bottom three for now. But like I said, the next 4 or 5 fixtures, very, very tough. And then we'll kind of really, really find out where we're going with this team. Are we hopefully got enough, which should be the case, to kind of keep out the bottom three. But for me, it's the longer picture. Let's get this season out the way. Hopefully win the conference. I'm really serious about winning that one. And in the summer, it's time to really think about the future. And I hope the board right now are doing their research right now, being proactive, searching the markets, tapping up the good managers right now, so that when the summer comes, without being nothing personal against you, Dave Moyes, I want you gone as soon as the last game is played. And if we win something, then again, thank you very much, but we've got to get someone else in, I feel. Hopefully go again with reasonable amount of money in the kitty, and really have that future plan. Whether I think the ownership thing is still up in the air. That is still in the back of my mind. Is it going to be Kotensky? Is it going to be Sullivan's kids? Is it going to be Gold's daughters? I really want that sorted out, so that we can hopefully purchase that stadium. And I think those things are not helping either. Rice is going to go. He's going to go. That's probably what's going to happen. But apart from that, I want the ownership thing really, really clarified. I want a new manager in, a new chapter, own the ground, make changes to the ground. Let's earn all of that revenue, match days like Spurs do, as an example. And we just got to move like that in my mind, really. Got to move like that, and everything should be cool. We got 63,000, 65,000 every single game. Got 100 million, hopefully close to 100 million for Rice. That'll bump up the kitty. Hopefully the board will dip into their pockets and shift in another 60. That's 160 million for the new manager. and I think we can spend that on good wing backs. Obviously, replace Rice with that, and then just spread the money around. Perhaps one more young centre back to replace Dawson, and the number 10. I think Paqueta, for me, it's still a lot of issues for me in my mind. Benrahma, I'm still not sure about him. So 2 wing backs, stroke full backs, CDM for Rice, and a number 10 who really, really runs the game, who sets things up, proper can create things, And if Southampton do go down, I want Ward-Prowse in our team in a cut price deal. I want that man in there as one of the people in the middle, So that's the kind of things I'm thinking. Apart from that, put in your comments. So let's enjoy today's game. Let's see one final comments. Cosmos is still in there. Yeah, mate, good start. I'd love to get Poch in there, you know me. Only one game, Andrew. Let's keep going game by game and see where we end up, mate. But anyway, thanks everyone for watching again. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We are getting closer and closer to my 2,000 subs target, which will be amazing. We've only been running for, I think, a year and 2-3 months. So it's all your love, and I will keep bringing you different types of shows as much as I can. But it's all about interacting with you guys. We will always try to do these live chat videos as much as we can. That's what it's all about. I'm never going to go away one of those, just keep doing pre-recorded ones. I'll always have enough of these in the week to catch up with you guys and have a bit of banter, really. A couple of more have come in. Paul, definitely Paul. We want a Poch or a younger version of a Poch or someone like that, someone who's passionate on the touch line, bit like that. I mean, Deitch, come on, all right, he's not the West Ham, but I loved Deitch's passion on the touchline. He's just like a fan, shouting, screaming, going mad. That's what you want, isn't it? And equally, someone who's kind of good on the training. Actually, you don't really need a manager who's good at training. You need a good manager who can manage people. Tactically very astute. A lot of managers like Martin O'Neill, Harry Redknapp, the players said that, like Martin O'Neill as an example, he only used to come in on the Friday, Saturdays. We never used to see him Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. He had someone else do the training, coaching. He would turn up Friday, do the team selection, have a quick chat with the lads, and in the dressing room, just before the game started, we said we never seen anyone like him. What he used to say to motivate the fans, get them ticking over, the respect they had. Harry, the similar. Harry used to have like 20 people in the coaching team. Harry was good at wheeling, dealing, putting his arm around players. Terrific, mate. All right, mate. So, yeah, long as a manager is tactically, very clever, got good few ways of playing, definitely plays the West Ham attacking, that has to be A1. And good in the transfer market, and then a good manager, That's what we want. With David Moyes, with respect, I think he's peaked Everton and doesn't know any new ways of playing, doesn't like to buy players, doesn't like to play attacking football, doesn't know how to use some of the players sometimes. So it's a bit stop-start with David, and Dave was good when we came in, a bit like Sam. They're good for certain situations and certain clubs, but you've got to learn how to let go, thank them for their time, and move on to hopefully trying something a bit more exciting. I mean, Silva, the Fulham guy, I think I know he's had a couple of dodgy spells at some clubs, but he plays some good football, that boy, so I'm sure we'll find someone there, hopefully. I can't imagine Moyes being here to start next season. That'll be pretty surprising to me, but there we go. Anyway, I better stop blabbing on. Final comments, Trini. You do need a lot of money, mate. You do need a lot of money out there. Yeah. That's why, there's not too many British team owners at the moment. You need to have a lot of cash, mate. And the cash has to stay in the club. While you're running the club, listen, you've got to pay a lot of money to buy a club. That's why normally you're in a part of a consortium, like the Chelsea guy. There's many other people that own Chelsea. He's not the only guy with the money. He's the face. Newcastle got those Reuben brothers and that lady Amanda, and then they got the Saudi guy. So you do need to get money from different parts of the world, different parts of the group. And then, you've got to be rich enough to pay a lot of money up front to buy the club, then keep investing. And you will make a lot of money at the end, but that means you will not see your cash for at least 10, 15 years. So that's why you need a lot of wealth. With these current owners, they're one of the poorest. If you look at the rich list as club owners in the Premier League, they are one of the poorest. And like you said, they largely rely on Sky money to spend money. They don't really use their own money. If they do, it's like a loan, a 6 to 8% loan to the club, so they get all that back. I think they bought the club for between 100 and 200 million over a decade ago. If the club is sold tomorrow, they'll get minimum 500-600 million for it. You can see they're very, very clever. They're going to make that money many times over, really. But anyway, I better stop yapping. I better leave that for another show. But yeah, West Ham Minds channel. Thank you everyone for watching. Let's celebrate today's win. And subscribe if you haven't. Take care. Have a great evening. Take care. And I better get some rum, innit?